Hello.
Hey. Hey guys. Hey.
So I'm Angela.
And I'm Myra.
Welcome to our podcast that is XMA podcast, but we'll be calling it Double XMA.
Double XMA.
So basically, it used to be called XMA because this channel that we're uploading it on
3 members.
used to have 3 members. But as you can see,
we don't talk about the deceased.
Today we have 2 members here. So rip Xander. Xander was the X in XMA, but he will be joining us for at least.
We'll make an appearance every now and then, but
this is one of our only episodes we're gonna have where we don't have somebody else here. But we just figured it wouldn't make sense to have another person on an introduction episode.
But also we have this guest. That would not make any sense.
Yeah. So we wanted Xander to be here, but we couldn't. And then that sort of brings us to like why we made this podcast. Myra, you want to take that?
Why we made this, we're being forced to. Against our will, our seminar teacher is forcing us to film ourselves talking for like 45 minutes every week. Yep.
Yeah. Like, it's more of we had choice and we didn't want to do like actual work. So we're doing this.
Yeah, our options came down to maybe be a Minecraft YouTuber or start a podcast. So we did start a podcast.
Yeah, a podcast is less editing. So
yeah, and we're entertaining. So
yeah, and speaking of Minecraft, if you guys want to hear stuff about Minecraft, let us know. We have some people.
We will bring Minecraft on the podcast.
Yeah.
I swear we will.
We will. We will bring people on and we will play Minecraft.
Karl. Specifically our friend Karl.
Yes, Karl's watching this like, no, I don't want to talk to you.
I don't want to do that. Nope, we're forcing people to join us and talk on our podcast, so.
I think we've reached out to a total of 1 person. I don't think they got back to us yet. Did they?
Yes.
What?
He was like, I mean, okay, but like, we should like bring Karl and stuff too. And I was like, yeah, totally. No.
He actually agreed. I thought he was gonna leave you undelivered.
The way that he asked, he was like, why do you have a podcast? And I was like, who doesn't have a podcast?
You should have been like, why don't you have a podcast, sir?
You have one. Honestly, I'm sorry I'm winning so much.
Wow, so we've got 1 whole guest.
Yeah.
No, technically we've got others.
Not to stunt on all the other podcasts, but we're living out here.
Yeah,
we're winning.
There's another podcast.
Just famous people.
Oh, I thought you meant people from like our class are doing podcasts. I was like, there's more.
If there is, that is really.
Okay, well then we have competition and I'm gonna start taking this seriously.
I'm gonna report their page and get their stuff taken down. There's only room for 1 of us.
If they're coming on, I can say their name, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so we have Xander's coming on for at least 2. He is requested to be on as much as possible.
Yes.
We have Ryzen, our friend Ryzen coming on. I have a feeling the one with Ryzen is going to get the most views because it's Ryzen.
He is low-key famous and also really talkative and funny guy.
And funny. He's probably funnier than Myra and I put together.
The podcast will just be him and us laughing, but hey.
Yeah.
That's anytime you have a conversation with Ryzen, so.
I'm kind of excited for the one he wants to be on, though. I think that one's going to be kind of funny. Even the one the first one Xander's going to be on, I think is really funny.
The one?
Yeah.
I feel like Xander would just, like, let it all out. You know what? It's the not placing at HOSA for me. And then we'd be like.
All of us. That's literally all of us.
We'd be like.
Speaking of HOSA, if you want to know what we're talking about, check that vlog out. It's on this channel.
Check our RIP XMA vlog. and the tennis one. Watch them all, so you'll understand.
I think the tennis one dance. I think we talked about the school we're playing against, and I don't think we're allowed to do that. So like you can't watch the tennis one, but you can watch the Day in Our Life at School one.
That one, great. My highlight from that one was eating a random blueberry.
And then spitting it out immediately. My highlight was you getting caught vlogging with your arm all the way up in class.
Not our teacher being like, yes, and I'm like.
And you literally went, selfie.
I did not. That does sound like something I would totally just say. What a dummy, what a dummy.
We were watching a documentary.
And it was sad too about like kids not getting healthcare.
And like dying because they couldn't
afford it. And I really was selfie, vlogging.
That video was so
Yeah. In a future podcast, we will be reacting to our own videos. Not only those, but the super old ones.
They're really old ones. Okay, so one of them,
like this.
So when we were picking what we wanted to do for this class, one of the requirements was like something you've kind of done before but like gave up on. So fun fact about me, Myra, and like half of the people we're bringing onto this podcast, we were all living it up with our YouTube careers at the young age of 12.
I thought we were going to be middle school YouTube, My Life as Ava prodigies.
We were all fully 12 years old uploading YouTube videos. Like, I'm pretty sure they were all like Minecraft videos for the most part.
It was mostly Minecraft.
Because that's all we really did. So
DIY videos in there and the who is most likely to challenge.
Oh my god, that one's so embarrassing. I danced in that one.
You have to show it.
That one's so embarrassing.
Stop me.
I think I was wearing like a jacket that was like live, laugh, love. So
I just have images of me making weird faces and you zooming in on me.
Because that was comedy in like 2014.
Why have I not changed, honestly?
Honestly, neither of us really changed. Our voices just kind of changed. We make the same jokes, just we sound different.
Same jokes about like lettuce due to leaves.
I thought about that. How did that even start?
5th grade when we first became friends. It had to be in the mala.
Because we grew lettuce in the mala, that's right.
And it had to start from there. And then we just started laughing about lettuce and then doo-doo lettuce and Christmas
lettuce. See, because I know we had the inside joke about lettuce, but I forgot about it until you just brought it up. And I have no idea how it started.
Me either, but that's the only logical guess that I have. Watch it be something like totally random, like during lunch one day, we just started laughing about lettuce.
It was either lunch or that, because I know in elementary school, I was like known for eating like copious amounts of lettuce every day.
True. You would eat so much lettuce, but then like the boys, like Karl or Christian guys, they would have one single piece of lettuce and they thought they were comedians.
I remember
so funny.
Christian used to like make fun of me for eating so much lettuce. But like that was just how I was living, bro. I was living that lettuce life, you know. They're just jealous that they're not eating like a rabbit, you know?
In elementary, did we have assigned seating in the dining hall? For some reason, I don't remember eating.
If anything, I think it was you had to sit by like your class, like your homeroom class. But I don't know if it was assigned within your homeroom class.
I feel like that's just like an empty part of my brain. Like I do not remember lunch during elementary.
The thing is, I should remember because I was going to this school for way longer than you have. But we have the same memory.
Like,
oh my gosh, the amount of times I've seen somebody throw up in that like middle school elementary cafeteria is insane. So story time. You remember how we used to have to like scrape all of our plates and put it in the middle for the lunch monitor?
They trained us to do that.
Yeah, so every day, like, people would pick, like, oh, I'm going to wipe the tables, or, like, I'm going to take the cups, or I'm going to scrape the plates. And scraping the plates was always the most disgusting part. So I would always be like, I'm either going to wipe the tables or take the cups. And then one day they're like, Angela, can you scrape the plates because the lunch wasn't that gross? But then that very day, this boy, we're not gonna talk about who he is, but this boy threw up onto his plate. Like, not on the ground, onto his plate. And they're like, Angela, scrape the plates. And I was like,
I'm gonna start gagging just thinking about that.
I was like, no thanks.
Why do elementary kids throw up all the time?
I know. Yeah, nobody does it in middle school or high school, but like in elementary, there were like people throwing up every day.
The poor teachers.
You know.
I remember one time in 4th grade, it was like on the first like 2 weeks of school. I was obviously a new girl. I was like kind of scared, and then had us in a circle time, and a boy in my class just threw up on the carpet. I remember who it is.
Oh my god!
And what happened?
I've never had somebody throw up like in a classroom. Oh, maybe you were there. Were you there? It was in middle school. I won't say which year because I feel bad if I specify. But in middle school in math one year, this one boy like threw up in class, and Xander roasted this kid so badly. I felt so bad. I was like, dude, this kid ain't asked to throw up everywhere. Xander, stop making fun of him.
Xander.
I felt so bad though. Like the kid and the teacher were so like polite about it, and I was like, oh, I feel so bad that this happened.
Let's when Xander comes on, let's roast him about roasting kids for throwing up.
He's gonna be like, I should have roasted him for throwing up.
You know
that was like, he's.
And I do it again. And I do it again.
Xander never feels regret. Like. Xander don't feel regret about anything, except for maybe not placing an HOSA.
Yeah, that's the only thing that will actually affect his feelings.
I fully remember him like Googling the questions after the test was done and being like, oh, now I got 3 wrong total. And then I was like, Xander.
The fact that he memorized the questions and he was waiting. What a guy.
I remember when Xander used to be studying, the only like pathology, because he does pathophysiology, that I knew about was ankylosing spondylitis. So I would always ask him, I'm like, what is ankylosing spondylitis? And he's like, Angela, that is like the most useless pathology. I was like, answer my question. You're supposed to know them all. Well, and then there was a test. There's a question on that test asking about ankylosing spondylitis. And remember the boy we met at HOSA? The really smart boy we met at HOSA, he got the ankylosing spondylitis one wrong. So I was like, Xander.
Literally, oh my god, that really smart boy that Emma kept irritating.
Yeah, that really smart boy got the ankylosing spondylitis question wrong. And I was like, Xander, he got it wrong and you got it right because I bothered you about ankylosing spondylitis daily.
I didn't come through dub. Now I'm like, all the HOSA memories are like coming back. Do you remember when we were in that like auditorium and they were like, grab someone next to you and just run up here? Xander like took my wrist, yanked me out, and then we just started sprinting and we didn't even win.
I was gonna say, didn't you not even?
Like someone in the front row got there and we were like, bye, we're so close.
Do you remember when we were writing our ats on the paper and throwing it?
They weren't even that attractive. If you go back and think about it, we were like, you know what, this will work. Let's just go for it. Except was in love with them, I swear.
She was fully writing her photo because she didn't have any social media at the time. So like that was all she really like had to write. But literally when we came back from HOSA, their TikToks were on my For You page and I was like,
Dad. And then we all sent it in the group chat, we're like, guys, is this not the people we were throwing litter at?
And then they turned into a soccer ball and threw away after.
The way they didn't even read it, like, damn.
But apparently,
and like, let's just go talk to them. Come on, Myra. And I was like, no.
And you guys went down the escalator to turn around and come back up.
And I was like, on second thought, no. These people look like, kind of like preppy people.
They really did. Now that I think about it, especially the curly-haired one.
Like, ooh.
I know what his name is, by the way.
They would judge us. They would be like,
I know what the curly-haired boy's name is. I don't know what the other boy's name is. Because the curly-haired one came up on my For You page a few times.
The way that when their PSA came on, because they showed everyone's, and we all roasted them, we were like, what is this?
Well, yeah, especially because theirs was after a pretty good one, too.
Yeah.
I will say, though, if I knew that that's what PSA was, you, me, and Xander should have just done PSA.
Could have just gotten that dub. We know how to use that iMovie goodness.
Yeah, because us in 7th grade knew.
Genius Bar, we know how to work.
Oh my god, yeah, Genius Bar, digital media.
We wouldn't have none of that gross, like, weird iMovie intro just saying, like, CPR.
I know.
Weird images. Like, no. We would have art.
I'm so sad we're not going to get to do that again, though.
Yeah. Do you think they would have, like, HOSA, like, online?
I think so. I was talking to her teacher about it, and he said that they're thinking about doing it online, but he's not so sure about details. Yeah. Either way, I'm so sad, because the whole trip was so fun.
It was so fun. Yes, the stressing out at your house. No, not stressing out, actually. Watching Ratatouille. Watching Ratatouille instead of studying. Sorry, teacher.
Okay, to be fair, I studied after, and I somehow knew my conversion table entirely. And then we went to sleep after eating an apple. OC went to sleep at like 8:30.
Yeah, she was like, you know what, guys?
Because she's just responsible. Well, because she like...
won. And she goes and wins, so... Second place, nice.
And also, she was smart and joined before junior year.
Yeah, not us trying to memorize all of pharmacology and all of medical math and win the year we joined.
I will say medical math wasn't that bad. It was just, like, you have to be really good to place. Because, like, I think, like, top 3 is, like, you get, either perfect and it's on time, or it's, like, 1 or 2 wrong. So, like, I'm very confident that my percentage on the thing wasn't bad. It just was not, like, as good as it could have been, especially compared to the people that definitely were studying hardcore, because I definitely was not.
I feel like I definitely did better than regionals, but still not good enough.
Oh, yeah, regionals was, we don't talk about regionals.
It's like competing with people that have been studying it for 4 years when you, like, been doing it for, like, 6 months. So... yeah, we were in over our heads, but hey, still had fun and went to Ala Moana.
Yeah.
Walked around for hours.
Looking for Lulu.
Xander, oh my god. Roast session to Xander. It's the wandering around by yourself and getting kidnapped and scaring us for me.
Yeah, what even happened with that? Because I didn't like and I dipped.
Yeah, you guys wanted to go back, and I was like, what about Xander? And you were like, nah, he's just at Mauna Ola. And I was like,
yeah, because he was.
Why did he go there at like 9 p.m.? That's his last stop. He's like, you know what, guys? Let me go spend a lot of money.
We had a haul after, and he showed us the shirt he got. He clearly was fine.
Yeah, so he survives, but sometimes I just worry about it.
All I remember from that night was my feet were sore, and I was tired, and I was like, guys, I want to go back. And was like, yeah, guys, we should listen to Angela.
Like, yep.
And I was like, see if Angela and the senior.
Yep, let's leave.
Yeah. So then we just left, and I thought you guys were following, and then we got back, and I realized you weren't.
Yeah. Then me, Emma, and Joanne, and Xander eventually showed up, and then, then the barbecue in the hall situation occurred.
Oh my gosh, yeah. The fact that we did that is literally so crazy.
It started off, we were sitting in some cubby, because we couldn't go in our rooms because Xander was a male and we're female. So we're like, you know what? We'll sit in the hallway into a hall. Show everyone what we got.
And our HOSA teacher is very aware that I sneak Xander into my room everywhere we go. Anytime we have something, it's happened every time Xander and I have gone somewhere. We've only been caught once. But unfortunately, the one time we got caught was by our teacher that took us to HOSA. So
we just had to play it safe, stay in the hallway. And that's when random people saw us sitting out there, and Emma was like, sit with us. And we're like,
yeah, and we were kind of like, Emma, like, you're scaring them.
And then we found out they were also freshmen, and then they started bonding.
Oh yeah, Emma's a freshman, for context, and the rest of us were all juniors.
Emma is a freshman with really weird social skills. So, to say the least.
Oh my gosh. Emma almost got kidnapped like 5 times. She kept like talking to people on the streets, and then our teacher got mad at you for not coming.
I basically had to babysit her, and I was like, Emma. The fact that she was like at 1 a.m., Myra, let's go get water from a machine. And we could not find it. We went around the hotel like 5 times, and we had to ask the security guard where ice is so we could melt the ice and then drink water.
Was that when you like turned all the lights on in the room when I was sleeping and forced me to drink water?
Was it with OC too?
Yeah, OC was there.
You guys were sleeping. We turned on the lights. We're like, here, guys, drink.
And literally, OC and I were like,
the way that OC like was like, water? Okay, thanks, guys. Thanks, Emma. Thanks, Emma.
I was like, I'm already sleeping on the floor, and then you're gonna wake me up.
I remember Emma was supposed to sleep with Oceana, but Oceana was like, no, go to Myra. And I was like,
I remember OC was like, yeah, okay. And then I was like, guys, I can sleep on the floor. And OC was like, yeah, Angela, that's really selfless of you. And then Emma can go with Myra because you guys are closer friends. And I was like,
Emma, we need to bring her on. just
what would that be?
Literally, I feel like she would be very, entertaining, to say the least.
Was when I think we were on the train going back to the airport, and Emma and were having a staring contest. And like eyes were getting
They somehow bonded through some like weird.
In the beginning, they didn't even talk.
Yeah, they were like strangers, but then it ended up with,
being like low-key homies. Yeah, literally that on the train for like 5 whole minutes.
The fact that strangers were sitting by us too, and they were like,
I feel like Emma just could have not blinked for the entire like plane ride too. Like
the plane ride there. What was that? Like 5:30 a.m. We had some nice veggie wraps that were kept in a handbag.
Yeah, and mine like exploded. I did that.
Nothing. It was just straight up bread and lettuce. Still thankful. Thank you, teacher.
Yeah.
That's
clearly my ideal meal, That's all I eat is bread and
lettuce and bread. Nice little Auschwitz meal. Wow. Dark humor. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. Anyways. I remember being on the plane and I was really tired, and then you guys, like, some of you were studying and I was like, no. And I took a nap.
Bro, you were staying by studying like crazy.
Yeah. She went ham. And I was like, yo, I have like a Quizlet on my phone.
Yeah, she kept on turning around. I was like, oh, I have a Quizlet on my phone, but like besides that, sleep.
Yeah, so I studied my conversion table. I went through it like a lot, like maybe 10 times, but like it's fast because it's a conversion table. And I was like, I know it. And like if I don't, then I can't really, like, there's nothing that you can do. So I went through my formulas a few more times. I knew all the formulas. So I was like, time for sleep. And then we get there and we get to the car rental. And we're at the car rental for like 2 hours.
That was some weird. We were supposed to have like a van that we can all fit in.
But that ended up happening.
But something went wrong. I don't even know what went wrong.
I don't either.
The van didn't work.
Wait, so you know how me, OC, and immediately had to like sprint to our testing rooms? What did you guys do in the meantime?
Well, we put our bags down in Yano's workroom because, I don't know, he was doing some weird like paperwork in the room like the entire day.
That like me, OC, and had just had to leave in the middle of the floor and run.
Yeah. Us being like, where do we go now? And then Xander was like, follow me, guys, and just sat on a couch. And we were like, okay, we'll just sit here then.
Oh my god, I really wish I had like a test the same time as you guys. I would have much rather have sat down and like chilled out than sprinted up the escalator and
we took a while to come out, right? Or was it like kind of fast?
No, it might have been fast, but it felt like a long time because I was by myself. because my test finished like last, like because it finished after OC and because theirs were together. So my test actually started late because there were issues, because there were people in there that weren't on the list for taking, because my room is medical, math, and nutrition. And there were people in there who weren't on the list for nutrition or medical math. So they were like, well, you can't really be here if you're not going to take the test, because that's not fair. But also, like, we don't even have tests printed for you. And then there were, like, people in there who were sitting next to nutrition tests who were supposed to be taking medical math tests. I don't know. There was, like, a whole thing where I think we started maybe 5 to 10 minutes late. And then it was sort of like when you finish, you can just leave. So I didn't finish super fast. I would say I finished at an average time, like maybe when half of the medical math kids were done, I sort of right around when I finished, and I walked out. And I was like, oh, wait, now I have absolutely no idea where to go. Like, I don't know where you guys were.
Because we didn't know where to go either. So we kind of just, like, sat around and then just left.
Yeah, and then by then you guys were all in your testing rooms. And I didn't know if OC guys were out or not, because I didn't know how long their round one test was. So they were like, grab your lunch. But I didn't have my lunch thing because I had to leave. And so then I couldn't grab my lunch. I was just kind of sitting on this random sandwich from random kids. And then OC texted me. She's like, hey, are you done? I was like, yeah, are you done? She's like, oh, yeah, come with me. And we're, like, over here. And then I went there. And then OC was like, did you get your lunch? I was like, I don't have my, like, lunch card thing to give them because I was gone and I just finished now. So I was too late to, like, catch or whoever was there.
Literally.
And so, like, so selflessly gave me her card. And then
are they like vegan?
I don't know. Oh, it might have been like a thing over like a time period. Like, you know how there's like Lent? It might have been Lent, but like not really.
Oh, because I don't know if we can say names.
Don't say that one.
Another girl in our HOSA is vegan, but when we went to go get our lunch, she asked for a vegan option, and they were like, they didn't give her anything. They're like, sorry, this is all we have. So she ate the pickle. I
think she could have gotten one, but I think like your advisor had to have called in, like,
yeah,
because I know there was for some other people, because I think they did have, but it just wasn't called in. But like they didn't miss out on much. That sandwich was very wet.
As we could tell by Xander getting stains all over himself, and me, a beautiful like 5-second clip of me just eating that sandwich.
Yeah, and then we proceeded to roast that sandwich for a while.
Literally.
I will say, the area we were hanging out in was like low-key, like in the sun. There was like a skylight above us, and when I say I was like sweating,
and there was other people that like they were sketchy. For some reason, we asked them like what their subject was, and they're like, I can't tell you.
Oh yeah, and then Xander
was like, what?
And then Xander was like roasting them. He was like, they're trying to make a big deal out of it. Like they think they're better, but they're not. You know, I guess they go to this school. I was like, Xander.
The way that Emma like sat with them and was like, hey guys, you can tell me.
Oh my gosh, do you remember when Xander and I were like kind of annoyed and then Emma thought that we hated her?
Yeah, no, I was actually getting so annoyed with Emma. I was like, you know what, Emma, stay over there with but was getting irritated too. So Emma was just by herself and she got sad for a moment.
All I remember was Xander and I were trying to study because it was, I don't know, we were trying to study for something, and then she just kept like asking questions. Xander was like, Emma, like now is not the time.
Yikes.
And I remember you being like, go by
like she's a dog or something, and just tell her, go lay down over there.
I think it was during lunch, and then me and Xander were like low-key stressing over like how we did.
Yeah. Stressing over how we did, and also, are we going to go to symposiums? Because I'm really tired and kind of just want to take a nap.
Yeah, and then Kalei was kind of like 20
photo by a weird water fountain on the roof, or that. And then
Emma came and literally you told us to leave, and I was like
She was just...
Oh, to be fair, we were all exhausted.
Yeah, exhausted and irritated and kind of just like PMSing. So
yeah. And we had no idea what was going on because our teacher apparently is like an exam assessor.
Had to work on some stuff. So when he got there, he was like, I have somewhere to go. Leaves all like 12 of us, 15 or something, to fend for ourselves. 2 of which are freshmen and they're babies.
I will say that one other freshman, like, I feel like she was on top of things.
Yeah,
she knew what needed to be done and when, and she like did things that we were supposed to do.
Symposium. She took notes. She was livid.
Yeah, didn't Emma go to symposiums too?
Yeah, because no one else wanted to be her friend.
Oh.
Oh no. I'm saying like no one wanted to hang out with Emma. That's why Emma went.
Oh, I was like,
that's the other freshman. We loved her.
She was so nice. She bought us ice cream that night.
Yeah.
She bought us a whole pint of ice cream and like delivered it to our door.
That was so nice.
That was right after Emma's little incident.
The whole like, pint thing too. We were like, damn, okay.
I remember she brought it and you were like, Emma, like, and then you like exposed Emma's actions that we can't talk about.
We cannot talk about that on this.
It's not bad. It's just like she doesn't want people knowing.
Yeah, if you go to the HOSA blog, and
you'll probably be able to figure it out.
Towards the end, you could use context clues to figure it out, but I'm not gonna.
Though it's nothing bad. Like we were making it sound like it was like ooh and sketchy and illegal. It wasn't bad at all.
It was more of like an embarrassing factor.
Yeah, she was just embarrassed, and Myra, she was like, "Don't tell anyone." And the first person that walked in our door, Myra like exposed her.
I was like, "Dude, guess what Emma just did?"
She's like, "Emma." And Emma just went.
Wait, Emma almost started crying. She got so mad. She like punched me and like threw herself on the ground.
I like how after that turned into all of us exposing when we did the same thing when we were out there.
Yeah, we're like, dude, we've all done it, like in this room or at HOSA.
Yeah, literally everybody there had done that thing that she was embarrassed about. We just didn't say anything about it.
Oh, we comforted her.
Except for OC. OC very much so owned that. And she was like, yes.
Yeah.
And then she did it.
She was like, that's healthy.
Even Xander was very open about his. And then we all just kind of knew when like the other people did it because it was like, it happened. But like none of us were like, oh, ho, ho, ho.
The HOSA club. We know how bodies work. That's just how it is.
It was fine. Oh my god, that day was so crazy. And then to think we had a whole full day after that too.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. The second day was a little bit more boring, but...
Okay, but the breakfast was bomb. The breakfast slapped.
Oh, the HOSA breakfast when they gave us yeah, I went back for like seconds of that stuff.
Yeah, I went with you. It was so good.
I was like, yes, please, and the juice. Sorry the school's buffet, but
I know, dude, their French toast was something, like, it was so good.
We did have to miss our plates for getting good grades to go to HOSA, but
yeah, but
worth it, I guess.
I don't eat.
Why? That's the only meal I look forward to. That's why I only get good grades is for that.
Serious? I like when we have pasta.
Yeah, the little pasta and then the steak and the rice, and normally it comes with some cake. So.
Yeah. And then there's always the raffle that people win, and I'm like, okay, never me, but
never won one.
And we're never gonna win one because we can't go back to school.
Oh.
That is a major L for both of us.
But to be fair, it's only like food that I don't like in there.
But like I want to
really like candies and crackers that I mean, like, I still want to win.
I know, to be fair, if I wanted, I would give it to someone else. But, like, I want to just have the feeling of, like, LOL.
LOL, hey, guys, look. Yeah, it's me. Hey. Yep, it's me. I won. Give me that basket.
I feel like everyone at our school is, like, such homies with our principal and vice principal, but I feel like neither of them even know who I am.
He only knows who I am because I've had to go in his office many times when I had little problems.
This is a side note for better judgment. I'm not going to put that segment in the podcast.
Yeah, that was
for better judgment.
It's really hard because if you have to cut out a lot of names and stuff.
Yeah,
so it will make no sense.
Yeah, so we're not going to put that in. So we're going to do one more segment. Okay, so Myra and I have like a doc. Okay, for clarity, we made some cuts because we realized that we can't really talk about what we were talking about because it's not.
I have to cut that part out, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, but like that's more like personal life stuff, and like I don't think that's. If anything, it's gonna be like a whole other episode where we like address specific things, but like probably not. So.
For intro, that's not get to know us. That's
not get to know us. That is like that is something else. Oh my god, I remember that English class. That I hated talking in that class.
I would dread going to that class. Walking into that classroom every period, I would be like.
And the thing was like, at the time, I was really intimidated by specific people. And now that I think about it, I'm no longer intimidated by any of them. But at the time, I was like.
That sophomore year, like, our first ever honors class, really. Because freshman year, there wasn't any honors.
Yeah, you couldn't take any honors until sophomore year. You couldn't take any APs till junior years when we were there. Now it's a little different. But, like, yeah, and it was scary because our teacher, okay, first I just want to say I love her, but she is such a hard grader.
Like, she's
such a hard grader. Especially in discussions, because you could.
Poems, too. She hated my poems.
Oh, she loved my poems.
And she would always ask me, you have to have something deep to write about. And I'm like, I'm not sad. I have nothing deep to write about.
See, sophomore year, I was very sad. And, like, maybe you know why? Because of Sam. That's a code name, by the way. I was very sad because of Sam.
Sam and John
was not making me sad.
John was
it was just Sam. Sam was like ruining my life. And so I had some good poem material to write about there. But it's okay, because Sam now is definitely taking an L. Like,
yeah, we could get into that another episode.
We probably will.
Roast each other and also other people session with Xander.
Yeah.
We will rip him to shreds. Bye, Sam.
Yeah, and I'll also say nobody knows who Sam is. Like, I'm confident that nobody's gonna figure out who Sam is, but like.
Yeah, this is a code name that I just randomly.
And since it's random, nobody really knows, and like I didn't really talk to anybody in sophomore year. So. No, but that English class kind of like ruined my ego for a little bit.
Yeah, that ruined my, like, normally I like going to school. Like, classes are hard sometimes, but like you can get through it. But that made me hate even days.
But it's only because, okay, even like the tests, because it was an honest English class, and so we would have to take tests, and I failed, I swear to God, every single test we ever took.
Hard.
It is like a miracle that I did not actually fail the class. Like, I got a good grade in her class, but I feel like I failed every single reading test.
I didn't. I always got B minuses and Bs for the end of the quarters.
See, I got like A minuses, and once I got an A. And so I was like, now that I think about it, I don't know how, because I swear I failed every reading quiz we ever had.
She also totally had some favorites in that period.
But she doesn't show it when she grades. Like, she grades very
she did, but like, I feel like they had it easier because they were less scared, but.
Yeah, the only way they had it easier because they weren't scared.
The way that our teacher would be like, guys, I feel like you're just not comfortable. How can I make it more comfortable for discussion?
Karl,
we were all there like, you get out the room.
Do you remember when Karl and I were like, guys, Membine is our Vahipana?
Membine is our Vahipana.
I love Membine. Unpopular
opinion. The way that she wrote that on the board for us too. We're like,
yeah, well, to be fair, she wrote it because of Karl, not because of me. Oh my gosh, we need to do an episode with Karl. Should I text him like right now?
Yeah, just say, would you come on my podcast?
Okay, I'll ask him.
Just like around 45 minutes of just talking and stuff.
Okay, I can't guarantee a response, but I'll send it.
Well, he better say yes.
Yeah, what if he says no?
The way that he'll be like, I'm kind of busy.
Into his schedule.
I'd be like, busy?
Like, the thing is, we kind of made our schedule thinking that he was gonna say yes. So, like, Myra and I have a doc where we have, like, ideas we want to talk about with who. We, like, made space for an episode with Karl, not even thinking about what if he says no.
Yeah, not even asking him yet.
So, that's gonna be a little embarrassing.
Meme review. Like how PewDiePie does, but with Karl.
Because Karl has a whole meme account.
So, nice. We could present him memes and he could rate them.
He's gonna roast us for giving him trash memes.
If it gets quiet and awkward in the call, I'll just be like, okay, meme review. Just start whipping up share screen memes.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Literally. And I feel like Karl would just be like, no, and leave.
He'd be like,
oh, you know what we need to talk about with Karl? AP chemistry.
AP Chem.
He just understands everything.
This is Karl during AP Chem on his phone. But then he'll get called on and he'll know the answer.
Yeah. Or
and
I remember one day back when school was like in session. I always bring snacks for my like classes. Like if you ever have a class with me, ask me for food and I'm going to just give you like an entire buffet. So I was giving my classmates snacks because we had a really small class, and then our teacher was like, you need to pay attention because you guys sucked. And then
we did suck.
We did, to be fair. It was very valid argument.
Still suck, so.
And Xander was like, what about Karl? And our teacher was like, Karl doesn't need to pay attention.
Legend, Karlo, Jalo, my main man, Jalo.
Honestly, stan Karl. Were you there when we were playing Cards Against Humanity and Karl somehow cheated his way into winning every single round?
Like, what? Is that man a Virgo? Like, I swear he has to be like, Cancers are manipulative.
But he's a July Cancer.
Oh.
He's not a June Cancer. I was reading him based on his zodiac.
Yeah, he feels like a manipulative person because that's what he did in the game. He manipulated his way into making people think his card was the funniest.
And the thing is, it's so obvious when he does too, because I remember Carlos, another person who we're going to petition to get on here, he was like, I like this card, and Karl was like, yeah, for the trash, and like moved it into the trash pile. And Carlos was like, okay.
I remember that. It was in midterm.
Yes.
That was so funny.
It was so great. That class was so fun. We should do a midterm episode where we all get together.
I know. I was just thinking that. I was like, how do we
play Quizlet Live?
Mentoring people. Oh, we do the like final like Quizlet Live.
Oh, with all of the terms. We so should. See, you know what I feel bad about was that whole like time we were in that class, Xander would yell at for messing them up.
And it was free. That it would be funny to look over and then Brie and be like,
or like would literally be number one, like answered first correct, and he'd be like, and then Brie would be in the back and she's like,
not me. Who is bringing down the team? Not me.
I know.
The way that we were powerful.
We were good. Our whole team was good. Do you remember the one time when Josiah was literally the only one that knew anything?
Yeah, we either like studied the wrong set or were like, oh, I thought today was a day one, not a.
You know what it was? That was one of the days. Remember how our teacher used to like low-key sabotage our team and like distract?
He knew we were powerful. He knew we were.
That was because typically Xander and I were like professional, like so good. Oh, okay, I'm just gonna flex real fast. So it was like a whole competition in the game, and like your scores add up over the entire semester. So in the end, one person would win for winning overall, like they're the best, and then it would show like top 5, I think, and then it would be like your team wins. So our team, me, Myra, Carlos, and Josiah won.
We got that Jamba Juice.
We got the drama juice that I gave to Karl.
Karl manipulating his way into winning everything.
Yeah, he literally, basically, he won.
Basically.
Anyways, there's that. And then I got second place for overall.
I got like 5th or 7th.
That's not bad, though. I think the top 3 was literally, like, me. It was, like, Xander, me, and I want to say it was, like, Carlos. Or, like, Karl or something like that.
Yeah, I feel like I was 5.
Flex, though. We were, like...
Like, when we would go through the matches, our team members would always be on the leaderboard for fastest response. That's how you knew. We were, like...
Do you remember the one day Xander and I had to miss because we had a tennis match? What ended up happening that day?
I think it was a very messy day for us.
It must have been messy for them too. So I'm assuming then that means either Friends or KKC won. Because it doesn't sound like either of us did.
It was probably KKC. They took their day.
Well, if you think about it, they had smart people in their group.
Was KKC was always on our butt, yeah? Sometimes they would, like, go ahead and we're like, nope.
Do you remember that one time where us and Xander guys did really, really bad? And so we were in 3rd and 4th, but then we had the same score, but their name came first because they answered faster. And Xander was like,
they weren't last.
Beat J-Mac. And I was like, no.
They're like, we're not last. We're not last.
We got the same score. But, like, whose team won the semester?
Yeah, me drinking my carrot juice, I was like, bye.
Us roasting you for carrot juice. Me not knowing what to order, so Josiah ordering for me, and then me giving it to
him just being like, give her a strawberry wild. Okay.
Yeah. The thing is, like, it didn't even matter, because I fully gave it to Karl. I should have just asked Karl what he wanted.
Karl, you manipulated a smoothie, you don't get to choose. Good enough. What a guy.
That class was so fun. That's kind of how all of us, like, low-key met, though, or, like, as a group, was that class.
Also, yeah, that class made me a lot less, like, acquaintance with Carlos guys, and more like, okay, they're kind of cool.
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
Yeah, see, and then, yeah, that was kind of great. And then that made English a little easier, too. Yeah,
towards the end of the school year, English got easier, and I swear it was because we, like, had friends. We bonded.
Yeah, I remember in the beginning of the year, I was, like, terrified of talking because of Carlos, and their other friend. And so I just wouldn't. But, like, now I really...
Their other friend and his twin girl version, Jesus Christ, that was, like, scary. That was, like,
I do remember when the twin girl version, like, shut me down and, like, roasted me in a discussion?
Yeah, that was... being like, this is a good discussion.
I almost cried. Like, I was about to cry in that class.
I hate confrontation like that, that's why.
No, because we were having a discussion about, like, cultural values. So I was talking about cultural values, and she made it personal. She was like, well, why do you do this then? And I was like, why are you making this about my personal life? And then
I'm just trying to get my points, lady, please. I just want to get my points.
And so typically it's like, as long as you can, like, validate it, it's fine. And I had validation for my argument. And then she was like, well, you as a person are a hypocrite because of this. And I was like, and then I stopped talking and I looked up and, like, literally I see Karl and Carlos and are all laughing at me. And I was I was going to cry right there.
Very toxic situation.
And so I just didn't talk for the rest of the class.
The discussions literally made me and another girl that didn't talk a lot scared to come into that class.
Literally, I almost cried. And then I told our teacher, I was like,
this is why I don't feel safe here.
Yeah, I was like, this is not a Vahipana.
This ain't no Membean, please.
And then I felt really bad because I think our teacher told her, like, the girl, that she, like, made me cry. So in period 6, she, like, came up to me and apologized.
Well, at least she apologized.
I know, and I was
no, it's not her. She's not mean at all. It's just I think she's really, like, argumentative and, like, really good at discussions. Yeah. So she kind of just, like, jumped to what she her side.
I don't think she meant for it to be rude. I think she just kind of said it like very like intensely, and like the timing was really bad. Because I genuinely think in her brain she was like genuinely curious, and she wasn't saying it to be like, okay, well, why do you do that? She was like, all right, but then why do you do that? I think is like kind of what she meant, but it came out wrong. Like, her and I are friends. Like, we were never not friends. It was just like I felt really embarrassed because I was so scared of Karl and his friends.
This is making me like, thank God I got through that. I'm a senior now. I do not have, that was 2 years ago.
We've come a long way.
That was 2 years ago. That's actually insane.
We've come a real long way. Because back then, all of us were afraid of Karl.
Yeah.
But like, now we're friends with Karl. I think Karl's like, no, we're not friends. But like, I
don't want to do that. We ain't friends.
I would go as far as to say that we are friends with Karl. And we'll confront him about that if he agrees to come on an episode.
Karl, are we friends? Karl, remember when you went to Angela's house and we did play games and bonded?
Oh my god, Karl's my Uno partner. We destroyed all of them.
Still winning. How does that guy always win?
Well, to be fair, Karl and I were Uno partners in Japan. So like, we just kind of know how this works, yeah.
Got a lot of history.
That was a good story times for our first episode. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to us ramble. I don't know how much of what we said is usable. So if there are any like...
If you look at it, it's why we did it, our past relationship, 5th grade, how we met and stuff, and you know, us. That's us.
So, that's basically what this podcast is going to be. It's just us sort of rambling and like telling story times. Sometimes with friends, and sometimes we'll like have specific games or topics we talk about. Today was sort of just like a free little do whatever we want kind of thing.
Introduction things. Hey.
Hopefully you enjoyed it. You thought it was entertaining. Maybe if you go to our school, you're like, oh, that's tea. But we didn't say any names, so we can't confirm whether or not it was tea.
It's not tea. That's John Sam.
Anyways, thank you guys for watching our first episode. I really hope you'll come back and watch some more. They'll be more interesting when there are more people.
Yeah. And like a game or something.
Yeah. But that's basically an introduction of, it's a pretty laid back podcast. It's not going to be like heated, like discussion, arguments, whatever. It's sort of just us and our friends hanging out and talking, playing games. Yeah. And with that, I'll see y'all next week. Thank you for watching Double XMA Podcast.
Bye.